Dude, this guy is dangerous.
Do you want to do this?
Oh,
I'm asking you honestly, do you want to do
I
this?
don't.
Because
I
this dude
don't
has
think.
no
I
regard
know.
for other people who are even in his league. I know for a fact, from what I could see, the white South Africans at this point are not having a good time. So on the 15th of October, we saw a video on the tube, and well,
That's the former president, Kgalema Motlanthe, who says that if there's any more friction in that town of Senegal, it could spark civil war. Are you going to listen to him?
So be it. We're in this mess because of people like him who allowed whites to undermine us like that. You think we can listen to people like him? You think we can listen to Mbeki, to Zuma, to Mandela? We'll never allow that. This nonsense must come to an end at some point. These whites should know that we are not stepchildren in this country. This is our country. We too belong here. And if going to Senegal will cause a civil war, if a man exercises his constitutional rights, that will lead to a civil war, so be it.
let's just say where people had tried to bring awareness to a cause that is quite like high up on the list of deaths in South Africa. That gathering has caused a spark that the EFF leader Julius Malema decided that he would go to the town himself with his political party members, and well, it didn't go. It's not a good thing.
What soldiers? Why should we be scared of retired soldiers when we're not scared of them when they were soldiers? When they legitimately carried guns to kill black people, we confronted them with stones.
Mr. Malema.
Let history repeat itself. Let us confront the same people our parents confronted.
Yeah.
If that is going to be the case, let it be.
Mr.
We're not
Malema.
going to live in fear here because we think white farmers are former generals. They can go to hell.
Mr.
Murderers,
Malema.
generals.
Mr. Malema, I put it to you that as a responsible leader, you are the third biggest party in this country. Your utterances right now, you sound like a person who is spoiling for war, not the protection of democracy that you claim to go and do there. Is that what you essentially want?
What is war? When a person says, I'm going to Senegal to defend a building with my body, I've never told you of AK-47. I've never told you
but
of
you are
hand grenade.
also saying...
You are talking war.
But you are saying...
When I defend myself against white, racists, and terrorists, if you are scared of them, it's none of my business, Chief.
And level of pettiness, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not saying we should be fear-based, but
Ek probeer inkom. Ek moet minder fit klink, anders gaan iemand van my kom.
ja, jy weet, definitief. Hey, Lisa, hoe gaan dit?
The thing about Julius Malema is that the dude is just full of hatred. Like, look, our country has suffered enough as it is with apartheid and everything that happened there and all the tension that came from it. But we have grown and evolved a lot as a country for this guy to bring up and fuel this hatred again. It's literally people that feel oppressed and they feel like the system is letting them down. This guy is the fuel to allow their hatred to turn into something. That is not what this is all about. So the thing about this whole cynical thing, and it's terrible that happened there with the 21-year-old farm manager, but what they wanted to do was they wanted to march to Senegal to raise awareness for all the farm murders that happens in South Africa. There are a bunch of farm murders, and I think it's in June or July where there has been 31 farm murders in 1 month, which is literally one murder per day. And that is a lot of murders. And this has the farm murders, this is used that as attention internationally, everybody knows about farm murders in South Africa. And for Julius Malema to march up to the EFF and be like, we are gonna tell these people what's what, and we are not gonna stand for what they are trying to propagate, for what they are trying to stand up for. We are gonna stand against that. But what they stood for was for farm murders. They were protesting for farm murders so that the government can actually do something against the farm murders. And then this guy comes and he's like, we're not scared of the white people, and the white people has killed us too many times, so we are gonna fight back. That's the mindset of Julius Malema. And unfortunately, there is a bunch of people in red berets that follow this guy.
Yeah.
No, okay, this is
The
awkward.
other, yeah. When you think about it, it's actually quite easy to incite people who have already gone through such a thing.
Heck yeah.
They don't want to go back to that. So it's way easier for someone in power to downright, while also as being a leader, manipulate them.
Heck yeah.
And maybe I'm completely wrong in saying that, but this is what it looks like. This is what the people will remember. At least the people who didn't go with him. So maybe they think they're doing the right thing. However, so far nothing has shown that any of this is necessary. You think you can counter a awareness thing, if you will, by showing up and ruining everything again? Is that gonna help? Is that gonna help us South Africans? What's next? Am I gonna show up to a wedding with like a shambok or something and start hitting people that I don't know?
Dude.
I don't know if this man is marching towards the possibility of a war, but a civil war might just start.
There's too much white arrogance here. You have allowed it because your president was bought by white people. And not only now, from when he was young. He was adopted by a London family, which handed him over to the Minel family. Where do you think Cyril gets accent from? Because he has never gone to a white school. He went to black schools in Shawela, later on in Venda, then he went to Teflo. He's got an accent because he grew up in a white family. So they bought him from when he was young. The white arrogance is not only in the farms. All the BEE deals that were signed 10 years ago, all white people are reversing them because they tell BEE people we don't need them. Why? They've got a big BEE partner in the presidency that protects them. How dare does your president go and launch a project in Mooikloof, which is not BEE compliant? Why should these people comply with BEE? So I was saying to the minister, your president, who's adopted by a white family, has allowed these people to develop this arrogance. And we're not going to allow him or you, through your actions, to make white people to be arrogant and want to subject black people to humiliation. Because once you humiliate police, you're humiliating a black state, and indirectly you're humiliating black people. And that pain we suffered during apartheid is resurrected, and we go through it again.
We saw that Julius Malema now has the tendency to take any major issue that happens in South Africa and turn it into race.
Yeah.
Like, these farm murders has nothing to do with race. It has to do with criminals committing a crime of murder, and they are being prosecuted for it. That's what it is. It's about two criminals that killed a young man, so they are being prosecuted as criminals. They're not being prosecuted as black men. They're not being prosecuted for being two black men that killed a white man. That's not what it is about.
They're being prosecuted for being two men, but who killed the person?
Exactly. And then Julius Malema came in and he made it about race.
Bro, this isn't just violence. This might just blow up. And I know for a fact, from what I could see, the white South Africans at this point are not having a good time. Okay? By that I literally mean that they are not enjoying being in South Africa. Because nothing these people do, whether it is to be beneficial to themselves or even just trying to stop something terrible from happening to the rest of them by like showing the media that some issues happening in South Africa. We might need some awareness out there so that people can maybe like feel pressure to stop these things, or like just showing people that not everything is rosy in this country. So if we're not gonna get that, what is the rainbow and the rainbow nation then supposed to be? Like it's the rainbow minus a certain group of people. Where does the racism towards you stop, and where do you start being racist?
Yeah, Julius Malema, he has some deep hatred for white people, and it doesn't look like he's gonna listen to reason, but I hope to God that he will listen to reason somewhere down the line, because um, if he doesn't, then it might just turn worse, and the next time it won't just be a protest, or it won't just be them walking to a place to, you know, to intimidate a bunch of people. It would actually be them invading something. The third biggest party in South Africa.
That friggin' scares me, and also the youngest. So that's even scarier.
Is there anything we can do to stop him?
Honestly, it's not in our power. If the police doesn't come to the rescue, if the actual government doesn't put a stop to this stuff, who's gonna stop him? It's kind of sad that that's where we're at, but this is where we're at. So
Julius Malema is dangerous, and the dude needs counseling. That's it.
this is sad as fuck.
No.
Even Trump isn't that bad.
Mm,
Trump
this
isn't
guy is bad.
trying to kill freaking the opposing side.